Hi, hello, welcome, and what's up? Welcome to another episode of Unfinished Business. This is episode number 13, and I'm Braden. Got Greg here to my right. Chandler's not here tonight, but could make for a more interesting video, maybe.
He had something come up. I don't know. He said he wasn't going to be able to make it, so I was like, all right, whatever. It'll make for an interesting video tonight.
Yeah.
So those who watch us for the NASCAR segment, hate to already tell you, but it ain't gonna be on here tonight.
Yeah, because I think if we were to talk about it, it might be pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we might hit on like how our predictions went for the All-Star race, but
No, we're not, because mine was worse.
Yeah. His finished the worst out of all of us, which honestly I think you're still finished top 10. So
Hey, look at me go.
I mean, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. I didn't watch.
I'm just gonna say that he did, just for my own pride.
Yeah, but Chandler lied to us because Ryan Newman did make the All-Star race. He finished second to last, but he did make it. So that would have been my pick. So technically speaking, you would have not have lost if Chandler wouldn't have lied to me.
I mean, that's true.
I think
it's his fault.
I think Ryan Newman only made it because he won one of the laps one of the stages of the previous. It was a whole different mess. Yeah. But anyway, tonight, it's Friday night, June 18th. It's about 11 o'clock. Yeah. You know, we're just enjoying life.
Of course.
Why not? We are going to talk about, obviously, our top 5 segment, our This Day in Sports History segment. We'll mention our sponsor, and then we will also talk about the U.S. Open. And how our picks are doing. And that's really the only topics for today, because we didn't really want to talk about NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs when there's still series going on from the last time that we talked about it.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like, could we talk about it? Sure, but there's really no point.
Yeah.
So
not much has changed since our predictions.
We will tell you next week, more than likely, there's going to be a lot of topics to talk about, because the NBA obviously will be
playoffs will be the next
that'll
round.
be into the next rounds. NHL
could be in the next round.
Depending on how the series.
One series at least.
I will say for sure one series will be. I think the Tampa Bay series will be over.
Yeah.
The Montreal series may even be over too, but
could be.
But we will go ahead and turn it over to our sponsor. Braden, you want to read it?
Absolutely. So, this episode of Unfinished Business is brought to you by Crafts and Creations by Kane, your one-stop shop for personalized items that will both amaze you and have your friends and family asking where you got it. It went away. Give me a second. You know, these stupid technology, computers, and all that nonsense. I'm going to start over.
Well, in that case, if you're going to start over, we are going to just do it all over again.
We're going to do it all over again. All right. Key me in again.
All right. We're going to give it to our sponsor.
All right. This episode of Unfinished Business is brought to you by Crafts and Creations by Kane, your one-stop shop for personalized items that will both amaze you and have your friends and family asking where you got it. Click the link in the description to be taken to the business Facebook page, or simply search Crafts and Creations by Kane on Facebook. Make sure to join the group and look at her prior creations, or simply check out the decal that's right here.
Look at that, Braden. You did great that time.
I did. Or check out the koozie I've got in my hand right here.
Yeah, I forgot my koozie tonight.
Nice and cold. When you find something that you like, message the group creator with your request. She will take it from there. Join the group today and get your creations by Kane. You know, I just lay off the technology, apparently.
Now that we just already had one, I'm just going to say it, fuck up. I mean, we might as well keep going.
Might as well keep it going. Before we get into all that stuff, though, I want to say a big Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
To all of the dads out there.
Yeah.
Yourself included.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. But, yeah.
Happy Father's Day to, your dad.
Thank you.
I don't know if he watches, but.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to him. I don't know. I didn't know if he watched,
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to Brian. Happy Father's Day to my grandpa. And, we'll kind of go. Well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go from there.
Happy Father's Day to everybody.
But yeah, Happy Father's Day to everybody, all the dads out there.
If you're a dad, even if you're a dog dad, or in Braden's case, a Rock.
There you go.
Happy Father's Day.
There we go.
I didn't get you a gift though, buddy.
Dang.
A rock doesn't count.
Well, it's all right. One of these days, maybe.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, 'cause I kind of forgot. Ooh, speaking of other things for today, for this day in sports history, it's not really sports related. It's Blake Shelton's birthday.
Oh.
Just
There
so
you
you
go.
know.
That's interesting. Well, speaking of on this day in sports history, why don't we just go ahead and jump into that?
I'm interested to see what happened on June 18th.
18th.
Sorry,
Yep.
they got, like,
So
my contact's a little blurry, so I look like 13th, and I was like, it's way past the
you're right.
13th.
So on this day in sports history, on June 18th, 1911, you'll like this one. The Detroit Tigers trailed the Chicago White Sox
Hey, there we go.
13-1.
And let me guess, they came back and won 14-13.
The Tigers did indeed come back to win that game and record the largest comeback in Major League Baseball history. I figured you'd like that one.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise. Well, was that when they were the White Stockings?
Said White Sox, so
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Because they used to be the Chicago White Stockings,
yeah,
which same difference.
yeah. Jump ahead 39 years, quick math, to 1950. That's right too.
It was 39.
Right.
I'll give you that to you.
The Cleveland Indians score 14 runs in the first inning. It's the largest amount of runs scored in a first inning in Major League Baseball history.
The real question: Did they win?
They won 21-2.
Okay, I was gonna say if they ended up losing that game after scoring 14 in the first inning, well, that's incredible.
Indians score 14 in the first and win 21-2.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm impressed, actually.
Jump forward another 10 years. More quick math. That was pretty easy though.
I would hope.
Arnold Palmer
Ooh.
comes back from 7 shots behind in the final round to beat Jack Nicklaus by 2 shots at Cherry Hills to win his only U.S. Open.
Impressive.
Only U.S. Open for
Impressive.
Arnold Palmer, though.
That's even more impressive. Well, okay, when you're going up against Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player, I mean,
Yeah. Also, he was also leading. Is either the next year or the year after, on the same day, and Jack Nicklaus came from 4 shots behind to beat
Yep.
Arnold Palmer by 2. So,
I mean, and things happen.
yeah, I mean Arnold Palmer. Jack
Now that
Nicklaus,
you're
Gary
talking
Player.
about Arnold Palmer, I really want one.
Yeah. And then, more easy math for me. It's like I did this on purpose.
5 years.
40.
Oh, okay.
So jump forward 40 years, and 2000, which was the 100th United States Open Championship.
And I'm gonna say Tiger Woods won.
Tiger Woods wins his first U.S. Open,
Hell yeah!
And-
Look at that.
the most dominating U.S. Open and golf performance in
Ever.
history.
I'm gonna say probably ever.
Yeah, maybe not ever now, but
Yeah. Well,
at
yeah.
that point, yes. We'll get into that here in a little
Well,
bit.
no, honestly, I was just guessing that it was Tiger Woods for the simple
Yeah.
fact that I was like, okay, 2000
2000.
Tiger Woods would have been in his prime. It was a good guess. I mean, not many people won
Yeah.
when Tiger Woods was in his prime. So
I've got a fun story for a little bit later when we we
God.
talk a little bit more about Tiger and some drama that happened at that 100th.
Oh Lord.
But
Ooh,
yeah,
was that?
That was at
never
Pebble.
mind. I'm not gonna
100th.
say what I was gonna say.
100th U.S. Open at Pebble Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just go with that's what I was gonna ask. Okay.
Sounds good. All right, so that was on this day. There wasn't any really thing.
Oh, there wasn't
else.
anything more
No,
recent than 2000.
Not really.
That's unfortunate.
Nothing too big.
Like I said, I mean, it's Blake Shelton's birthday. That's pretty
good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If you're a Blake Shelton fan, if you're not, then
Austin's a pretty good song.
it's a great song. Probably one of his better songs because all the most recent stuff kind of sucks.
I know. I've read that somewhere.
Him and old Gwen Stefani kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, did you read that on my comment?
Look, it took you that long to think
No,
of that.
I figured that's what you were talking
Okay.
about.
All right. So let's go ahead and we'll start chatting about the U.S. Open here.
Yes, sir. I'm ready for this.
So The U.S. Open, which is at Torrey Pines, 121st U.S. Open, by the way. Torrey Pines in San Diego, California. We have got we'll go ahead and list off the top 10 here. So in first place, there's a two-way tie between Richard Bland, who ended up shooting a 4-under 67 today,
Heck yeah.
and Russell Henley, who, shot 1-under today. Shot 4-under yesterday, though.
Yeah. So I mean, still playing
Yeah.
great.
Then you've got a two-way tie for third with Louis Oosthuizen.
Good old Louis.
Shot 4-under yesterday and even par today.
Yeah.
And they're at -4. And Matthew Wolff, who shot 1-under yesterday and 3-under today.
And we'll just go ahead and say, if you haven't looked up Matthew Wolff's golf shot, Braden showed me this before. Before we got on this podcast, and
it's very Charles Barkley-esque.
yeah, that's a very good comparison. If you ever seen Charles Barkley swing a golf club, it's very similar.
Don't get me wrong, he does it a lot better than Charles Barkley.
Except for Matthew Wolff's golf shot goes probably 200 yards further and way more straight. So
yeah. So then in a tie for fifth, there's another two-way tie for fifth at -3. We've got old Bubba Watson, who shot a 1 over the first day and shot 4-under today. And
definitely not
Jon
a guy.
Rahm.
But say Bubba Watson was not a guy I had in the top 10.
Was not for me either.
No chance.
Tied with Bubba Watson is Jon Rahm, who shot a 2-under the first day and a 1-under the second day.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a three-way tie at seventh at -2 with the Kevin Streelman, who shot even and then 2-under. Mackenzie Hughes, who shot 2 over and then 4-under today. And then Xander Schauffele, who shot 2-under the first day and even today.
Mm-hmm.
And then a three-way tie at 10th as well. Scotty Scheffler, this is at 1-under. Scotty Scheffler, 1 over the first day and then 2-under today. Guido Migliozzi.
Yeah, I was going to let you pronounce that name.
Guido Migliozzi. Even the first day and 1-under the second day. And then Patrick Rogers at 1-under and then even for today.
Yep. So I guess do we want to talk about just the top 10 for right now, or do we want to kind of talk about our picks that we already had?
Yeah, let's talk about that top 10 real quick.
Okay. I think, and we kind of talked about this before we got on here, a guy that I see falling pretty quick would be Mackenzie Hughes.
Yeah.
Especially, we
great
watched,
day today.
Yeah, it was a great day. We watched some of the highlights, especially of the round. I caught a little bit of the actual live round, but not as much as I wanted to. He made a 50-foot putt for birdie.
His first 2 holes today, he made a 40 to 50 foot putt, and then on the second hole, he ended up chipping in from 30 yards, or maybe 20 yards for a birdie.
It was a ways. It was a decent.
It was a good. It was a good chip. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
But let's be honest. Okay, both of those shots, you could say maybe the putt. Okay, skill.
Yeah.
So
the chip, skill too as well. But there comes to be a certain point of luck.
So my thing is, he shot -4 today. So realistically, he shot -2 with 2 shots that could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So, and you could say that about all the leaders. Some of their shots could have went either way. I get that, but when you're chipping it in from 20, 30 yards, you're making a 50-foot putt.
Yeah.
That's not shots you're usually going to get. Mm-hmm. So, he's in the top 10, and easily he made the cut no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
But do I see him being in the top 10 after the next round? After the next round, I'm going to say probably not.
I'm going to say probably not. He may be in the top 10. Don't get me wrong. He had a great day today. But I don't see him being in the lead for after the third round.
No. Yeah.
I do see See, I think that Torrey Pines really kind of gears to more consistent play.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, you're going to have a player that comes in, shoots a great score for a round, and flies up the leaderboard. But my focus is really on. I mean, I know I picked him to play well last week, but Matt Wolff, I mean, shooting a 70 and then a 68, which is a 1 under and then a 3 under. I mean, or somebody like John Rahm, who has shot a 69 and a 70. So, I mean, if you can consistently shoot around that 69, 70-ish area, especially in a U.S. Open.
And even the leaders, I mean, for right now, 67, 70, 70, 67. I mean, they're playing solid golf. A guy that isn't in the top 10 right now, but I think could be there towards the end of the week, would be a guy like Brooks Koepka.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play well today, but he shot a 69 first round, so he can put it together. Yes, he's 5 shots off the lead now, so it's gonna take some.
I think it'll really depend on the conditions over the weekend, because I mean, just from the the course maintenance of Torrey Pines, the rough is super thick. So if the wind starts blowing a little bit more, if it starts to get rainy, and it could really cause that rough to become even more of a problem. If the wind's blowing and it gets blown in there more often, it's going to cause scores to go up. If it gets rainy, it's going to become more lush and going to be harder to hit out of, so which are also going to make scores go up. Combination of those two, you're just wanting to get in at even par.
Yeah, I mean, and we kind of talked about this a little bit. I mean, obviously not exactly who I had in my top 10. Like, I mean, a lot of names that you would not normally. I mean, obviously, if you're a golf fan, you might have had some of these guys in your top 10. But for like just the average viewer who maybe only watches the majors, a lot of these names are like, who the hell's that? Yeah. And I know that I kind of, asked this question beforehand, and I told you that we would talk about it like on the podcast, but do you think that is in a way hurting golf for viewership going into like a weekend? Because I mean, let's be honest, a lot of golf fans may not watch a Thursday or Friday because of work, or you'll have like the older guys who are retired or whatever who play golf, and they're gonna watch on Thursday, Friday. But you have those ones who like myself, and for instance, where obviously, I mean, between you and I, like we know, like you watch golf a little bit more than I do, obviously. But when I do get to watch, it's usually on a weekend.
Yeah.
So let's just take this tournament for example. Big name guys who didn't make the cut would be, well, okay, obviously Ricky Fowler. Didn't even qualify. Is what I'm saying. But
Zach Johnson
you have, I'm just kind of going through just real quick. Webb Simpson, who I would know.
Stenson, Kokrak, who's played really well this year.
You have, I'm trying to
Horschel,
Will Zalatoris, who I actually picked, Matt Kuchar,
Zach Johnson,
Zach Johnson, Cameron Smith, and in all honesty, at one point until they moved the cut line, Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I guess my question is not necessarily is it bad for golf to have like newer names in the top 10, because I think that's great.
Yeah.
But when it comes to viewership and revenue based on television viewing time, and let's just say possibly people who are buying like last minute tickets to just go if they live nearby, do you think that not having some of the big names like I'm trying to say it like back when Tiger was in his prime, I mean, people tuned in to watch the majors to see Tiger try to win another one, and try to break Nicklaus' record.
For sure.
You don't have that with anyone right now. So do you think that's hurting golf, or do you think it's better for golf because you don't know who's going to win, that it's making it for an interesting tournament to watch?
I would say that. Well, I mean, you could look at it from either way. I mean, you have a player like you said, Tiger in his prime that was just so dominant and would win, or would be in contention for most majors whenever he was playing.
And honestly, and this is a whole different debate for another day. I personally think if he didn't have his whole drama with the women and injuries, I truthfully think he had a chance of breaking it for sure.
I think he would have.
And I think he would have broke it years ago. But
yeah,
that's a whole different topic. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you get back.
But
to
I think that in a situation like that, where you have a player that's super dominant, people are going to tune in just to see how many shots he wins by, what the crazy spots that he puts himself in that somehow he gets out of it, just to see mastery, basically. As far as like now, when you have more players, the two tied for the lead, Russell Henley and Richard Bland. Not too many people are going to know who that is. Maybe even, Streelman, Mackenzie Hughes, Oosthuizen, maybe. He's a bigger name, but
I think people would know who he was, even if you don't watch much golf. Even me, I know who Oosthuizen. I can't even say his last name. Oosthuizen is because he won the Masters.
Yeah.
So even if you don't watch golf a lot, like you know the name, or you should know the name at least if you don't watch it a lot, because he's won a Masters.
Yeah, I think that it's good for the sport to grow and good to see like younger players getting into or being more successful would be a better way to put it. But I would say that like if Jordan Spieth was to miss, Ricky Fowler being out. Ricky Fowler's pretty popular.
I would say Ricky Fowler is not playing well in general the last few years has kind of. I don't want to say it's ruined, tremendously viewership, but a lot of the people who.
Ricky fans.
They're more of like they're more of like a new age type fans too, because Ricky's more of like the
out there.
Puma. It was the first time Puma's ever been in golf, like that. Obviously, I think Puma sponsors
Bryson.
Well, yeah, but don't they own isn't one of the top Cobra? There we go. Yeah. That's what I was trying to think. I was like,
Puma and Cobra.
I was about to say there's another golf actual company that is basically overseeing. Or
it was like TaylorMade and Adidas a couple years ago.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to think. I was like, I know there was one we talked about a couple weeks ago, off podcast, that I was like, what the hell is it? I know it's one that I've used the club before. And that's kind of what the reason why I asked that is. I see it both ways. Yes, it's awesome to be able to watch a tournament and not know who may be at the top at the end. It's awesome to watch that. But in a way, again, I'm going to go back to the Tiger thing. You had people who had no idea what golf was tuning in just to watch Tiger.
Yeah.
And I don't think you get those kind of people anymore.
No, you did whenever Jordan was playing at his peak, because he was I think he was in contention to win all 4 majors in a year.
Oh yeah,
because he won the first 2, won the first 2, lipped out a putt to go to a playoff in the 3rd major, and then I want to say he got second, or he might have even won the 4th.
Was that the year that he had an epic collapse?
No, that was the next year.
Okay. I'm gonna say I knew that
because he won the Masters and the U.S. Open, and then
that's right. Okay.
And then they went over to the Open Championship. The Open Championship was at St. Andrews that year, and on 18 he had a putt to go like
that's right
at the front of the green to go up the big hill, and he ended up lipping out that putt to go.
Yeah. I remember that now. See, I would say I just remember that epic collapse because it's like I'm pretty sure we were even messaging back and forth. I'm like, dude, this tournament's over, and so I turned it off.
Puts one in the water 2 times on.
And the next
16.
thing I know, I get an ESPN notification. Jordan Spieth collapsed, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Because it's like
2 in the water on 16,
and it's just one of those things where you're like, you don't think a professional golfer is going to have that big of a collapse in.
Yeah,
like when he's up by, I want to say, was he up by 4 strokes? Yeah, like 3 or 4 strokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I do think, however, that so not only is that like a key to some people maybe not watching on weekends with people missing cuts, people not qualifying for tournaments, but I also think that another big key to that is there are a lot of people that are like, cutting the cable, so to speak, with TV, and with golf, it's all over the place.
I will say that,
like, it's on the Golf Channel, like, early in the morning, and then it goes over to,
I want to say on the
NBC,
weekends,
and then sometimes it's
on the weekends,
CBS.
I want to say, like, for us, it's on, like, KHQA, so ABC. NBC, that's right. I was
it's on.
When I said ABC, I was like, that's not right.
So like today,
so NBC.
Today it was on the Golf Channel for most of the day, and then
it was also
went
on
to NBC.
Yeah, I would say it was on NBC. That's where I watched it.
And then on other weekends and other tournaments, it's on Golf Channel, and then it goes to CBS. And other times it's on.
Sometimes on WGM.
Well, which is
Fox.
Yeah.
Or there's WGM Fox and there's WGM local channel.
Yeah, that'd be CBS.
Yeah, CBS.
But other times that it's on, that you have to stream it through like Peacock on NBC.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that really hurts their viewership too. Because if they had a more, like, if all of it was on the Golf Channel, for example, then I mean it would be easier for somebody that doesn't want to have cable, myself being a good example. You don't have to pay for 5 different, or well, not 5, but maybe like 2 or 3 different subscription services in order to get in order to watch golf for a tournament.
Well, or
for all the big tournaments at least.
And another reason why I think, just kind of playing devil's advocate on the fact that maybe it is good for golf that some of these big names aren't in it is, and I don't know the revenue that they get from like sports betting, but what I've noticed is a lot more people are now betting on like winners of majors on DraftKings, on FanDuel, all the sports betting, I mean, and like I said, I don't know what percentage of those bets go towards PGA possibly, or if it all just goes towards FanDuel and DraftKings. But I mean, if PGA gets some percentage of that, they're making bank because there's been I know now that you don't have Tiger winning every one, you don't have Rory, you don't have Jordan Spieth, Phil Mickelson, always in the top. Brooks Koepka there for a year was.
Yeah, I mean he won 2 straight.
Jason Day was dominant for a year or 2.
Yeah.
Dustin Johnson is the number 1. I think he's still number 1. I don't. Yeah,
he was as of last week.
I think he still is, but I think it might be changing soon, maybe.
Depending on how he performs over the next 2 days.
So, I think, I think we both agree that it's good for golf, but also could be bad in the long run, depending on how things progress.
Yeah. Let's see here.
We'll say that. Do we want to get into how our picks are doing?
I
mean, I know we kind of talked about one of mine.
Well,
for sure.
Let's just go ahead and talk about Chandler since he only had one.
That's fine.
So his one pick that he had, which was also one of yours, Brooks Koepka. He at the moment is sitting in a tie for 13th at even par. I mean, okay, he shot 2 under and then a 2 over today. I think that he really thrives in environments where the winning score is going to be relatively close to par. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. He has the ability to go super low if the conditions are right and can suit his game.
Well, and what I've noticed about him a lot, and you kind of hit on this before, is Torrey Pines is a course where you have to play consistent. Mm-hmm. And what I've noticed with him is he is either on a day or he is not necessarily like way off, but not good enough to be shooting under. Yeah. And I mean, for him to be tied for 13th, he's 5 strokes off the lead. Mm-hmm. Still has a chance, but unless he turns things around, especially in the next round, I do not see him competing for the win.
I think he's got to go.
I mean,
out
do I think he can still finish top 10? Yes, I think he can get top 10.
I think he's got to go out and shoot 4 under 4 under on Saturday in order to have a chance going into Sunday.
I think it has to. I think it has to be at least 3.
Yeah,
but 4 or 5 would be
a good spot. He'd be in a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brooks is just one of those players where he has his tournaments where he shows up for it. I mean, typically U.S. Open. I mean, he's won 2, and I mean, typically he's usually there in just about any U.S. Open. I mean, and then any other tournament. I mean, he's kind of middle of the pack. Mm-hmm. So I mean, U.S. Open really fits his game, his play style with being consistent, shooting around par, but in today's PGA Tour and Open and majors, you got to have the ability to go low.
Yeah.
So then we go ahead and jump to your picks. So
okay, Braden. We might as well just say
Cameron Smith. Go ahead and talk about
Cameron Smith missed the cut, shot a +5 overall. He shot +1 and then +4 today. Will Zalatoris was even worse. Shot a +7 overall, was +4 and +3. That was my only 2 that didn't make it incorrect, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, and honestly, of the 2, I think my number 1 pick to win it was Will Zalatoris. So he played, honestly, I don't want to say like shit, but
he didn't play good.
So
no, he did have a good shot out of the rough. I don't remember what hole it was. It was yesterday.
One good shot compared to a whole other.
I mean, yeah,
2 rounds of golf.
It was a pretty. I'll admit it was a pretty good, impressive shot though.
I mean, Brad, let's be honest. That's like me playing golf. It's like I hit the green on a par 3. Great, that's a great shot. It doesn't matter, Brad. I'm still +12.
Yeah, I mean, true.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, it was a pretty impressive shot in the rough, short-sighted himself.
No, I'm just kind of talking crap.
Yeah,
I know,
you had Jon Rahm.
Yeah, he's in the top 5.
He's sitting tied for 5th at -3.
Let's say tied for 5th. But
and like we said before, he's at 2 under and 1 under for the 2 rounds.
You could say, I mean, he could even. I think of the people you picked, he's definitely got the best chance. Well, here's my thing, and like we talked about, consistently, like consistency in this tournament is key.
Yeah.
And of the people in the top 5, other than the leaders, obviously, he's the only one who's gone under both rounds.
Matt Wolff did. He shot 70 and 68.
Oh, yeah, never mind. I forgot that he went -1 on the first round. Okay, so So, he has a chance.
He does have a chance.
I mean, Matt Wolf, I don't like his swing, so I'm never going to pick him, but
yes.
it's very unique. So
yeah, so then you had Brooks Koepka again, which again, tied for 13th.
Which I see him making a top 10 finish. I at this point, unless like we said, unless he shoots -3 to -5 in this next round, I do not see him competing for a win.
Yeah. And then you also had Colin Morikawa, who
he's
had a bad first day, 4 over, and then ended up shooting 4 under today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he is a very interesting player. He is a great ball striker with his irons. He's a great.
He's a guy that I think you don't know what he's going to do next round.
I think he might be one of the only people in this field that has the ability to go out and obviously shooting +4, but I mean he could, if he comes out tomorrow, I mean he could shoot maybe a -4 to -6, and he could just have a round that carries him to maybe the final pairing on Sunday, and he could play mediocre and still win.
Oh yeah, well, and like we talked about with Brooks Koepka, because they have the same overall score right now. If Morikawa goes out and shoots -3 to -5, I think he gives himself a chance.
Oh yeah.
Do I see him making the final pairing by shooting just -3 to -5? Probably
no. I think
not.
he's got.
I think he has to.
Like
I think
6.
he has to go at least like 5, 6 under.
Yeah. Which is possible. I mean,
even then, that's hoping that some of these leaders don't shoot the same score.
Yeah.
I mean, if they shoot the same score, I think Morikawa and Brooks Koepka are done. I mean, if the leaders go out and they shoot a -3 or to a -5, I personally don't see Koepka or Morikawa making up that many strokes on the last day.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that's going to be hard.
Yeah. So then, like you said, your last one was Will Zalatoris.
Yeah.
He missed. Yeah. Cut it 7 over.
Missed good.
So then we can jump to all the players that I discussed. My number 1 overall pick was Jordan. Right now he's sitting tied for 53rd at 4 over.
Hey, what he's gonna need is to shoot 10 under, and
yeah. I tell you what though, if there is any player that was that far down in the field and that could have the ability to come up and win, I'd say it'd be him.
The only problem at this point that I have with Jordan is the fact that his first round killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, he shot 6 over in his first round.
Yeah.
And that's honestly the reason why he's not anywhere close to the leaderboard.
He just puts himself in bad situations off the tee too often. He puts himself out of the fairway. At Torrey Pines, I can't be in that primary.
I think even when you picked Jordan Spieth, you even said, you were only picking him because you were hoping like maybe he could put it together because he had been playing well.
Yeah.
I mean, you even said, hey, if he struggles off the tee, he's not going to win this tournament. So I mean. Yeah. It's just, I mean, and you can say that about any player. If they struggle off the tee, obviously they're not going to win a tournament.
Yeah, but I mean, you also have players that could struggle off of a tee and be completely...
And scramble and be perfectly fine.
Be completely different. Because, I mean, for a player like a Bryson DeChambeau, for example, if he's struggling off the tee, he might be 10 yards offline, 10, 20 yards offline. If Jordan Spieth is struggling off the tee, he's about 50 to 60 yards offline.
Mm-hmm.
And... That's just not going to win you a tournament at a U.S. Open where the rough is thick.
Yeah. Oh, just to bring up a guy that neither one of us picked, but this may be one of his last chances to actually win a U.S. Open for the first time in his career.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson, +2.
+2. Not
I
happening.
don't see him winning one either.
No. Jordan's got a better chance to win at +4.
Again, +4, -2.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it was about like some of these veterans that played the first round, but a lot of them shot like crap.
And granted, the conditions weren't the greatest on the first day.
No,
they weren't terrible. I don't think they justified the scoring that some of the veterans really were getting. But I do think that a lot of people were struggling with how thick the rough was and trying to determine how
how hot the ball was going to come out of that rough.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I can't remember who else you had.
my second pick was Justin Thomas. He's sitting tied for 13th with Brooks Koepka and Colin Morikawa at even.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say same thing we've said.
Yeah.
He has to come out.
He shot 73, so 2 over and then 2 under.
And honestly, he's going to do better than 2 under. I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to shoot at least,
Yeah.
honestly, at least 4 or 5.
I mean, he's got the ability.
Oh,
but,
definitely has the ability.
Again, yeah, like you said, he's gonna have to shoot 4 or 5 under to get to where he needs to be in order to compete.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had it wasn't necessarily a player that I thought was going to compete, but someone I thought was going to play a lot better than what he did. Cameron Young ended up missing a cut at +8.
Well, that wasn't the amateur though,
No.
right? No.
But
I think that was just because you had said that it's a guy that could play a lot better than what.
yeah, he.
I don't think you said. I don't even think you said he was going to win. You just said he might be able to make the cut and compete.
Yeah, he ended
And
up shooting.
obviously that didn't happen.
He shot a 1 over the first day and then kind of blew up and shot a 7 over today.
Which is to me that's very interesting because the conditions were crappy yesterday and weren't that bad today.
Well,
And he played better in the crappy conditions.
Well, I mean, you had a guy that was projected to make the cut yesterday. That like a Hayden Buckley shot a 69 yesterday and shot 82 today. So,
okay then. Yeah, I didn't look at that one.
that was 11 over. It was par 71.
Yeah,
but
that's yikes.
But yeah, nobody had mentioned him, thankfully. So my next one that I talked about was Rory. He at the moment
He's not playing terrible.
No, he's sitting tied for 21st at +1. Again, I mean he's gonna have to shoot. We're saying that even had to shoot 4 or 5, he's got to shoot 5 or 6 under tomorrow in order to compete.
And the crazy thing is, at one point he was actually, I want to say like -2 or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he was playing great.
Yeah. Then let's see here. Bryson DeChambeau also tied for 13th at even par. 4 or 5 under again.
Yeah, and honestly, again,
Defending U.S. Open champion.
Yeah, again, his first round was the reason. I mean,
Yeah,
he shot 2 over, 2 under.
Yeah,
same
he played
as
relatively well
same as
today.
Justin Thomas, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Then I had Daniel Berger, who's tied for 21st, same as Rory at +1. Let's see. He ended up shooting
Even +1.
par and then +1.
Yeah.
Consistency, but going the wrong way.
Yeah, it's consistency, but when we're talking about consistency, folks, we mean consistently under par.
Yeah, consistently under par.
not consistently around par. That's not going to win you a tournament,
And then I will say,
especially a major.
I will say that my third pick that I had that I thought would have a chance of winning this week, I would say it would be the most impressive out of all of ours. Because not a big name player that most people know, but Matthew Wolff, at the moment sitting tied for third at -4, looking very impressive.
Yeah,
Very impressive.
I was gonna say, and
He made a couple long putts today that were
and here's my thing
35, 40
for you to pick him before we even did this, and that's a ballsy pick. And hey, obviously we know that Braden watches golf for a reason because I had no idea who the hell the guy was.
He's also been off from competitive golf for a couple months too.
Oh, okay.
I don't think this is his first tournament back.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I want to say
you.
he had
I
a
got
couple of months off of competitive golf. Maybe it might be like the second or third tournament he's been back, but
So do we? I mean, I know Chandler's not here. Do we want to keep our same picks, or do we want to say guys based on the top 10 right now that we could see?
yeah, I think that
Competing.
we could go ahead and we can.
Obviously, I'm keeping John Rahm.
with Chandler not here. Me and you can just go through and we can. Doesn't necessarily have to be the top 10, but somebody that.
Well, yeah.
Just players that are another. We'll go ahead and just do another 3. Well,
Okay.
I'll keep it to 3 this
So
time.
okay, obviously I'm keeping John Rahm.
Yeah,
I mean that's a given.
I'd hope so.
Are we saying to win? Or are we saying to compete? To win.
win.
To win. Okay, so
win.
John Rahm.
Okay.
I think I have to have like at least one like long shot guy. I think we both have to have at least one long shot just to see what happens.
Okay.
So my long shot, I'm going Colin Morikawa.
Okay.
Which may not even be a long shot, but I think he comes.
I'd say where he's at right now. I'd say it'd be a long shot. I mean, he's 5 shots
Yeah,
back.
I think. Here's the thing. Do I think that he can win if the leaders continue to shoot the way they're playing? Absolutely not. But if the leaders slip up, he could make a run at a top 3.
Yeah.
If I'm just gonna put it this way. If he shoots, let's say, because he shot what -4.
Yeah.
So let's say he shoots -4 to end the tournament. That's -12 overall.
Yeah.
I think he has a chance.
I'd say he has a decent chance.
So, I mean, obviously, you know, if the leaders shoot the same that they're doing, he still has a chance.
yeah.
Because -8 over in 2 rounds over -5 in 2 rounds. I mean, he has a chance.
He does.
So, I mean, I'm gonna say John Rahm, Colin Morikawa, and I mean, I think I almost have to go. Man, this last one's hard. I mean, 'cause I don't want to. Here's my thing. I want to have a different guy than you,
Yeah.
and obviously I know that you're gonna take Matthew Wolff.
Yeah.
So, and I don't like taking a guy who's leading after 2 rounds. I don't like that. I really don't.
Well, in my personal opinion, I don't think either one of them are going to win anyway. In my opinion,
No.
they have the ability to, but
I think based on veteran, I'm going Louis.
okay.
Just based on he has the what's the word I'm looking for?
Experience.
Well, yeah, he has the experience of a Sunday and being in the top pairing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know. Does Hantley and Bland have that experience?
Henley. I mean,
I think Henley does, doesn't he?
Bland does. I want to say he's won recently on the European tour.
Okay.
As far as on this stage, neither one of them have had.
Well, I guess what I mean is I don't know if either one of them have a major tournament win.
Neither one of them have a major.
So that's kind of what I'm going with Louis, is he at least has a major.
Okay.
Which, you know, so I went with John Rahm, Colin Morikawa, and Louis Oosthuizen.
In that order? Or do you think it's going to be, or do you think like it would
No. If we're going in order, I'm going John Rahm, Louis, Colin Morikawa.
be? Okay.
That's my order. Sorry. I didn't know you want to do it in order.
No, I was just saying, like, I didn't know if you were thinking that Colin had a better chance of winning than Louis, or
No.
Yeah.
Of the 3, like, my long shot was Colin Morikawa,
Okay.
obviously.
I'm gonna stick with Matt Wolff. Obviously.
I think that'd be stupid not to.
He's my my number 1. And you know what? I'm gonna stick with my original picks. I'm gonna go with Justin Thomas.
And Brooks Koepka?
No, I didn't pick Brooks. And I'm gonna go.
Well, that's
with,
right. You picked Bryson, didn't you?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm gonna go with. Instead of Bryson, I'm gonna take a shot. I feel like he might have a good round tomorrow, and maybe even a better round on Sunday. Plus, he kind of thrives on pressure, and he's just a great player. Plus, I mean, looked great today. I'm gonna go with Rory,
Okay.
+1.
I can see that.
But I mean, had the swag today. I mean,
Yeah. No, Rory is never a bad pick. I mean,
No.
he can smash the ball, so
Yeah.
never a bad pick.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Matt, Wolf, Justin Thomas, and Rory.
And that probably in that order is my assumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I do think that Justin Thomas does have the ability, just depending on how he plays tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Rory. If Rory comes out and he plays well tomorrow, I think he's got a shot. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as we
Yeah.
said in like the day in sports history, I mean, Arnold Palmer came back from 7 shots. I mean, crazier
It's-
things have happened. It's a different era.
Yeah,
with better players. Well,
yeah.
I don't know about better
Well,
players, better equipment.
Better equipment. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Better equipment, possibly better players.
Yeah.
In today's game, but
better equipment, probably better balls. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
yeah, but crazier things have happened.
that is true.
Um,
But obviously, our next podcast, we will definitely keep you updated on how things go.
yeah, so we kind of mentioned earlier, just talking a little bit about Tiger. So I was interested just because I mean U.S. Open, and Tiger is kind of
Hand in hand.
hand in hand. Yeah.
Yep.
So I was interested just to see about his road to recovery. His car accident was 4 months ago, I think.
Yeah, something like if not
Somewhere
a
around
little
there.
bit longer.
Somewhere around there. He is still wandering around on crutches. So I know that a couple of people that are close to him.
It was in April, so
Two
or
months-
wait, no,
that was
just
2 months ago.
That was just a
Oh, it would have been. I'm thinking it was probably I think it was around 4 months ago.
February 23rd. Sorry.
Yeah, so
this was just
So 4 months ago, yeah.
like an extra news report about it.
Yeah, so 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But
I was about to say when I said April, I was like, "There's no way that was April."
Yeah, he's still using crutches to get around, and he was saying that it's probably the most painful thing that he's ever gone through.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
and
he
then-
shattered his leg.
Yeah, and then obviously with him being the competitor that he is, he wants to be. I mean, he wants to play, but a few of the players that he's good friends with, because him and Ricky are actually really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
But Ricky was saying that Tiger literally anytime he's gone over and hung out with Tiger or have talked to him or anything along those lines, his golf clubs are in the background of where he's at. So he's itching to come back.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously with him with the U.S. Open, I mean he wants to play. I mean, he wanted to play in the Masters
I was about to say
too.
the Masters. That probably pissed him off.
Yeah, but I know Tiger was offered a position for broadcasting the U.S. Open this year.
Oh, really?
And he turned it down. He was wanting to focus on his recovery and
to be honest, he probably turned it down for the simple fact of when you think of a player broadcasting, you think of someone who's retired.
yeah,
You don't think of somebody who is still in the game,
yeah,
actively in the game,
yeah. He's just injured.
and just injured.
Yeah.
You don't think of that. So I applaud Tiger for saying, "Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you wanting me to be a part of it, but I don't want to commentate because let's be honest, he would not have been able to sit there and not be like, this is freaking BS. I probably could have played better than this."
yeah,
Which could he have? Who knows? But
yeah, true.
But I mean, he would have been sitting there like,
I mean, Tiger at Torrey, he's played there injured and won before, so
I mean,
not this kind of injury.
I mean, he
but-
hasn't played there with a shattered leg before.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing that I did forget to mention about the U.S. Open, there was a Air Force, a United States Air Force
Oh yeah,
veteran.
you were talking about that. I couldn't remember what his name was though.
I don't either. It was Kyle Westmoreland. He ended up making a cut at the U.S. Open at +2. So, yeah, this is first U.S. Open he's ever played in. so his debut, he ends up
Yeah.
making the cut.
And honestly,
first Air Force veteran to
he's
play in
tied
a
with some big
championship.
names.
I mean, yeah.
So,
Hey, Phil is -2, isn't he?
+2. But
Or
yeah.
+2, yeah.
Phil, Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, he's shooting better than Sergio Garcia, Patrick Reed.
Jordan Spieth.
Well, I mean, that doesn't take much to do that.
Yeah, not
Ian
today.
Poulter.
I mean, yeah, but
So-
props to him. Kyle Westmoreland, first Air Force Air Force veteran to be in a major championship.
Gets to go to a weekend and
Yeah, hopefully he. I'd like to see him come out and
I will
Post a
say
score.
I will say his fairways hit is not good, but
better than mine.
21%.
Oh, yeah.
So
Mine might be a little bit better. Maybe. I might be at like 22.
I will say that he has
He needs to find the fairway a little bit more.
he's found
I
the
tell you what,
fairway a
though,
little bit more
For
but
him to be at +2 and for him to have 21% fairways hit,
That's what I'm saying.
good for him.
I mean, let's be honest.
If he could find the fairway, post the score,
If he hits the fairways, he could have possibly been even par, maybe better.
even better, yeah.
So-
but yeah, I just thought that was a little interesting little note for,
Yeah,
like I said,
I
first
forgot
veteran.
to remind you about that. I knew that we had talked about that earlier, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to Tiger. So this would be. So we kind of hinted at it earlier with him winning that 2000 U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. Just something to something to note. I mean, it's one of the most memorable U.S. Open tournaments, most impressive by far, I would say. But 2000 U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, he ended up winning by 15 shots.
Oh yeah,
He had 51 greens in regulation,
which is insane.
which, 18 times 4 is 72?
Yeah, sure.
Well,
No.
18
Well, times 4, yeah.
18
yeah.
18
Yeah.
times 2 is 36. 36 times 2 is...
Yeah. Sorry,
But
I misheard the 4. I
so
was thinking
19.
3.
So he missed 19 greens in regulation in 72 holes,
Yeah, still shot.
which
15
is
shots better.
7 more than any other player in the field. He had almost 30 strokes gained on the field, which is the highest total since World War II.
That's insane. Like,
He-
I mean, just that's crazy.
He played 2 completely bogey-free rounds of that weekend, and he was going into Sunday. He was chasing the best overall final score, like cumulative score over
Yeah,
4 days. He ended up tying it, but actually he missed a putt on 18 to
beat it.
beat
Yep.
it. But I mean, it was like a 15, 20-foot putt. It's
Yeah.
kind of a difficult
Yeah.
putt. But he was talking, like, he gave an interview after the tournament, and they were asking him about, what was on your mind? Why were you worried about coming out and trying to beat all these records? And you know what his response was? You would think, like, somebody of his caliber, he wants to have every record in the book, right? You know what his response was?
No, I was just playing golf.
He just wanted to have a round without a bogey. That was it. Which he did also. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
He had his last round was a bogey-free round.
Yeah, like, and again, I mean, that's one of those things that I know we talked about this earlier. With, is it bad for golf that you don't have somebody that's just dominating?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. Let us know. I mean, we debate this and we talk about it and we have our own opinions, but let us know what you guys think. I personally think it can go both ways. I think it could be bad for golf, but I also understand why it's not, because like I said, it makes for an interesting tournament to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, was it still fun to watch Tiger Woods dominate?
Yes.
Of course. But you also knew going in, well, he's going to win. Let's just see how many strokes he wins by.
Yeah. I mean, if for
You
anybody,
know what I mean? It's like,
for anybody that hasn't seen Tiger at his peak and his like peak performance, and just how well and how masterful he really was. Like, just go onto YouTube and just search like Tiger Woods.
Just Tiger Woods
Great.
highlights.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly, the best video, and I watched a video, like 3 videos about it today when I was at lunch. But look up like Tiger Woods' greatest escape shots.
Oh yeah,
And it's the craziest lies, and in the woods with a 3-wood and hits a low bullet line drive 220 yards and gets it to 4 feet. Or where he hits a ball out of a sand trap and hits the left side of the green and has complete side spin and spins it probably like 10 yards to the right and ends up like 2 feet from the hole. And that was like a 160-foot shot.
That's one of the things that I think when he was going through all of his back injury stuff, he was still trying to do a lot of that. Yeah. And I think that's what ended up hurting him.
Yeah.
I think once he realized, okay,
maybe pull that out once every tournament and not like twice around.
I think what actually helped him was, he finally realized that he's getting older. He can't do some of these shots that he could do back when he was in his 20s.
Yeah.
And he finally just got used to his new swing, the way that he needs to swing to keep himself healthy. And him playing in that Masters what was that, a couple years ago? I watched that whole entire Sunday round, and I still remember, he makes that putt, fist in the air, and that, I know that he's shown emotion in the past winning tournaments. That might have been the most emotion I've ever seen out of that guy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it was the fact that it was the first one that his son watched him.
Yeah.
The first one, I believe, without his dad.
No.
That wasn't his first one without his dad? Okay, that's right. His dad passed away before he won, was it the U.S. Open? The 1 year? Or it was one of the majors. I cannot remember which one. I want to say U.S. Open.
I think it was either the U.S. Open or it was the Open over in England.
Yeah.
Or Scotland.
It was one of those, but I must say, I don't even know why I just said that about his dad. I was like, he's won multiple without his dad.
But speaking of his dad, though, you're talking about that tournament, the Masters with him. After he wins that tournament, and it goes over to him going up to his girlfriend and Charlie and his mom. Hit the picture that is was all over the place for like a couple weeks after that tournament was him picking up Charlie.
Yeah.
And he just about the same picture of him and his dad whenever he had won his first tournament or his first US
what
Open.
What I think was the best part was, yes, he 100% understood that was a huge moment.
Yeah.
It was basically his comeback to golf. It had been years since he had won a major. But he didn't necessarily turn it all about himself, and he wanted to be with his son.
Yeah.
Even after he picked him up, he had his son walk in front of him and walk back, I want to say obviously to the clubhouse to get the trophy.
Yeah.
Or the jacket, not the trophy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it was just the emotion of that scene, that was just unreal.
Yeah.
It really, in my mind, that was the most emotion that he's ever shown. Obviously, I know
the one after he first. The one tournament he lost after, or the one tournament he won right after the passing of his dad, or his first tournament, his first major he won without his dad.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's pretty powerful.
He's shown a lot of emotion, but that
was just different.
It hit way different.
Oh yeah,
way different.
Speaking of Charlie though, he very well might be better than his dad
at that age. Yes.
Because
I think Tiger's even said at that age, he's hitting the ball better with more contact and further than Tiger ever did.
Well, just talking about Charlie, he had they had a tournament here not too long ago where it was like a father son or like golf legend and a family member, and Charlie and him they didn't end up winning, but it was a scramble format. They had 3 eagles and I think 18 holes, and then one of the eagles,
I think the winner was
Bernhard Langer and his grandson. But one of the eagles that they had was completely Charlie. He hit like a 225-yard drive, or maybe it was like 200 to 225-yard drive, and then hit a 3-wood from like 175 to 3 feet.
Yeah,
and then made a putt.
Yeah,
but he's incredible. He's going to be a great player.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but whenever Tiger was younger, he won the U.S. Junior Amateur at 15, 16, 17. Won the U.S. Amateur at 15. Yeah, 15, 16, 17. Won the U.S. Amateur at 18, U.S. Amateur at 19, and U.S. Amateur at 20. So he won the U.S. or a form of the U.S. Amateur, whether it was the junior or the senior, for 6 years in a row.
Yeah, not surprising.
Only person to ever do that. Only person to actually win the U.S. Junior and the U.S. Amateur. Well, only person to win the U.S. Amateur 3 times in a row. Only person to win the Junior U.S. Amateur more than twice.
And honestly, his son might be the next.
Could be.
I mean, we're not saying there's not other top kid golfers in the nation, but I mean, let's put it this way: when your dad is arguably up there in greatest golfers of all time,
yeah.
I mean, obviously at this point, and we might debate this in a later podcast too, I would not put him number 1. But it's a very good argument for him in the top 3.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I'm biased because I love Tiger. I love watching Tiger play.
Oh yeah.
But I think Charlie is going to be insane.
Oh yeah.
I think he
well, I mean,
could come out and dominate like his dad.
I mean, let's be honest. When you get to have a dad who was dominant.
Well, and I think if Charlie comes out and is as dominant as Tiger was in today's, well, not today, it'd be in the future, but I think that's even more impressive.
Oh
with the number of
I
caliber
agree.
players that came into golf because of Tiger.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But yeah, but I'd mentioned earlier about a fun little story about Tiger. In that 2000 U.S. Open. That almost didn't happen.
The 2000?
So, on Friday, Tiger was leading by 5 shots at the time, and was on the 12th hole, or it was around 3 to 5 at the time. He was on the 13th or 12th hole, finished out the 12th hole, and then hit a drive on 13, and the play was suspended due to darkness.
Okay.
So they get out they go out the next morning, which was Saturday morning, and Steve Williams was his caddy at the time. They were obviously a pair for a long time until they had a huge falling out. But I don't remember what the exact circumstance was and why and like what had happened, but something weird had happened where Tiger had taken out like a couple of golf balls and was practicing or something along those lines, and Steve didn't check the bag the next day. So they get out to the course Saturday morning to finish that round.
Nice.
So Saturday morning they get out to 13. They get to where the drive was, and they put the ball down and play. Tiger has no idea. He has no idea that there's 3 golf balls in his bag. So he plays, and Steve is like, okay, it's Tiger, best player in the world.
I think I've actually heard this story.
He's not going to lose. He's not going to lose 3 golf balls. It's 6 holes. Mm-hmm. So plays 13, plays 14, plays 15, no problems. 16, he gets to a situation where he is in the rough and he hits a really spinny shot with one of his wedges and scuffs up one of the balls, and ends up becoming, well, in his standards, unusable. Mm-hmm. In our standards, that ball's still going for another, well, till we lose it.
3 years.
Yeah. Well, 3 more hits till we lose it.
Yeah.
But so he gets the ball out of the hole after the hole is over, and he tosses it to a fan. So he's got 2 golf balls left.
Mm-hmm.
Plays 17, gets to the tee at 18. For any of you that don't know about Pebble Beach, the 18th hole at Pebble Beach is one of the scariest drives in golf. In golf. You've got ocean to the left, and you have to hit over the ocean to get to the major part of the fairway. There's not really a part where you can just smooth one out to where you're not in trouble. Again, Tiger Woods doesn't know that he has 2 golf balls left. What's he do? He pulls driver. Steve Williams is trying to say, like, oh, why don't you hit iron here and hit it out? Because, again, he's up by, at this point, I think 5-6 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Tiger tells him, why would I hit driver, or why would I hit iron here? I'm playing really well. Da-da-da-da-da. Pulls out driver, hits driver into the ocean.
Yep.
So he's got 1 golf ball left. Steve again is like, here, why don't we? He pulls the iron halfway out of the bag, and Tiger looks at him and goes, ball, and throws it. So Steve gives him that last golf ball, and he luckily hits it into the fairway, doesn't hit it into the ocean, and then the rest is history from there. But if he would have hit that ball into the water on 18, or would have lost it, he would have been disqualified for the rest of the tournament.
Yep.
Because he didn't have any more balls to play.
I'm gonna say I knew about that.
So
obviously after the round you're allowed to get more golf balls, all right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. They were allowed to get more, but that's just something a lot of people don't know. And just imagine if he would have hit that into the water, we would have never had that performance at Pebble Beach. And he was leading by 5 at that point.
And here's the other thing. We would have never had that performance, and B, who knows if Tiger would have ever turned into what he was, because
he could have fired Steve Williams.
He would have fired his caddy on the spot.
Yeah, he told Steve gave an interview after the, I don't even know if it was after that tournament. It might have been years later. But he said that he didn't want to say anything to Tiger because it's part of his job to make sure that there's enough tees, enough golf balls, things along those lines. And he said he didn't want to tell Tiger because if he would have told Tiger, I mean, obviously super competitive. Yeah. He wants to win, but he said that he wouldn't have put it past Tiger for him to tell him to put his clubs on the ground and to take off his caddy bib and to walk home.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have put it past Tiger either, with just as competitive he was. And
Tiger would have literally caddied himself.
Yeah,
he would not have given.
Or he would have pulled somebody from the crowd.
Yeah, he would not have cared.
And he did. And honestly, at how well he was playing, he didn't need anybody to tell him what shot to hit. So, it's just an interesting story.
I mean, just like you said, when he looks at his caddy and says ball and doesn't give two shits,
doesn't care about what he's saying, trying to tell him to hit iron. He's just
come on now, that
give me the ball.
Tiger in his prime, that is literally the story right there.
Yeah, ball.
That ball.
That's it.
But do we want to get into our top 5?
Yeah.
And we will definitely keep you guys updated on how our picks go for the U.S. Open and who wins, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, top 5
top
for
5
this
are going to
week
be
is going to be the top 5 golf courses. So I know that
I have a couple honorable mentions.
You have a couple honorable mentions. Yeah. I have a couple honorable mentions as well. I kind of did obviously I play a little bit more golf than you do, and I watch more golf and am more into
knowledgeable.
There you go. Knowledgeable of in the golf world. So I kind of did my own little spin on it and did top 5 U.S. Open golf courses. But,
Okay, I got you.
But I do have a couple of honorable mentions as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my top five courses probably would have been relatively similar to yours. Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. But so why don't you hit me with an honorable mention for you?
Okay. Honorable mention, TPC Scottsdale.
Played there.
I know you did. That's why I put it as my honorable mention.
Played
In
there.
Arizona.
Yeah. That was a fun course. Honorable mention for me is Royal Birkdale.
Ooh.
It's
nice
Open Championship course over
Yep.
in England.
Yep. Is that the one with all the sand dunes? Like
no.
one of the ones with all
Well,
the sand dunes?
it's got a bunch of like pot bunkers and stuff in it.
That's
but,
what I meant. Yeah, not
um,
sand dunes, like pot bump, like the pot bumpers.
It's regularly seen as one of the most difficult courses in the world.
Obviously so. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
My other honorable mention is Paynes Valley, Tiger Woods' new course.
That's my next venture.
Dude, that extra hole,
The
that
19th,
looks
yeah.
freaking phenomenal.
Hey, maybe we should use your bonus money this year and we can go play.
Yeah.
It's
That
$325.
bonus money is going to be used for paying for the baby.
I know.
But I mean, it is actually
I
we
mean-
can make this happen.
I mean, I'll gladly make it happen.
Because how much was it to play there again? Like
$325.
225,
$325.
325. We can make that happen.
I'd pay it. I paid about that price to play in.
'Cause here's my thing.
Arizona.
We already looked it up. It's not too far away from us.
No, it's in the Ozarks.
Yeah, so we can make this happen.
Oh, I know.
Whether or not I bring up like 35 to 50 golf balls is a whole other question.
My other honorable mention is Shinnecock Hills.
I don't even know that one.
It's in New York. It's a U.S. Open course.
Obviously, you said you were doing U.S. Open.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
but
okay.
Royal
I
Birkdale's
got you.
not.
Well, yeah, no.
My other two
Well,
aren't
it's in
either.
England, obviously.
My other two aren't either.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know what your other two are.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can name them right now.
Well, don't.
I won't. But
Do you have any more honorable mentions?
No, I said I only had two.
Okay. So my other two, just because, again, I said I was just going to do U.S.
Yep.
Open courses.
I know exactly which two of these are.
And if I didn't, I mean, it'd be a tie for first, as
Well,
any golf
yeah.
enthusiast would be as well.
Yeah.
Augusta
Yep.
National
And St. Andrews.
and the old course at St.
I was about
Andrews.
to say, well, okay, old course. Sorry, not the new one. The old course.
Yeah.
By the way, like if we ever can sometime, I want to play at the old course just so I can hit the freaking billboard. That's all I want to do in my life. I want to
Yeah.
hit the billboard on hole number 14. I think it's 14.
I mean, there's the hotel in 17.
No, I want the billboard. The billboard.
But yeah, I mean, for obvious reasons, I think any golf enthusiast wants to play at Augusta. And,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
St.
okay.
Andrews is the home of golf, so
Do I want to play at Augusta? Yes. Should I play at Augusta with the way I play? Hell no.
yeah, true.
I'll play on the women's tees. There we go.
There you go. And plus, I mean, St. Andrews home of golf, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
So, number 5 for me, Cypress Point.
Okay.
Is that number 5?
No.
Oh.
My number 5 is Whistling Straits.
Ooh. Why did I not remember that one?
I don't know, but I've got a plan. I don't know if I've told you, but whenever I graduate from from college this next year,
Yeah.
I've got a plan to take some time off. I'm talking like 3 weeks off of work, and
Dude, Whistling.
I'm gonna go
Whistling
travel
Straits.
around the U.S. and go play different golf courses.
Yeah,
So,
Whistling Straits.
that's one of 'em.
Whistling Straits. That's a travesty that I forgot about that one.
I've probably got another one or two on here that you wouldn't think about.
Maybe Whistling Straits definitely top 5.
Yeah.
I made a mistake not putting that in my top 5.
Yeah,
I will say right now.
Yeah.
Number 4, Pebble Beach.
Okay. My number 4 is Bethpage, the black course specifically.
Okay. Personally, I would put Whistling Straits ahead of that one.
I mean,
Personally.
Bethpage. I mean, I'm just a little biased because I like Beth.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
seen
just-
as the one of the hardest courses in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying me personally. I
mean, yeah,
like in mine, I would have actually put Pebble Beach 5 and put Whistling Straits 4.
yeah. Whistling Straits is pretty awesome.
But my number 3 is TPC Sawgrass
Yeah,
for obvious reasons.
17.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Probably one of the hardest par 3s. Or
Yeah.
not really hardest, but
Yeah, hardest.
scariest.
Hardest.
Yeah. Yeah.
My number 3 is Chambers Bay.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, I like the link style courses, mainly because there's not trees, or too many trees.
Well,
And
yeah.
I feel like I would play a lot better if I
And
didn't
our main thing when we go play golf is
to try and not hit a tree.
well, I hit trees.
Well, yeah.
all the time.
But
so.
I feel like if there weren't trees around, I'd play a lot better.
I mean, I feel like if there wasn't trees around and they made the fairway like 2 fairways wide, I'd be fine.
There you go. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, honestly, any of mine could really be like
Well, yeah.
I could
honestly.
really like I could have put Chambers Bay at 5 and Whistling Straits at 3. I could have put Bethpage at 3.
Oh yeah, yeah. My number 2 is Augusta National.
Oh, I know what your number 1 is. Then.
Well, dude, you should have known my number 1 was in general. I've talked about that forever.
Yeah. My number 2 is Winged Foot.
I don't think I've ever seen that one or heard of that one.
Winged Foot is one of the most classic U.S. Open courses. It's got I want to say the 2 highest winning scores of a U.S. Open in history, which was +7 and +5. But it's seen as one of the most classic U.S. Open courses. They don't play it very often anymore.
It looks really nice. I don't think I've ever heard of this one.
Yeah, it's Bobby Jones played like that's how long bless you. That's how long that the U.S. Open has been there. Like Bobby Jones played there and played like a U.S. Open there. The West course specifically is the harder of the two.
The West
there's
course?
the East course and the West course. But yeah,
I mean, it's only in New York, Brain. We can make it there.
that's also on my list of courses.
Guest information. Here we go.
Oh boy,
Let's see how much this costs.
a lot.
It doesn't even give me any.
Yeah. All of the places on.
Oh, I wonder if it's because it's a private course that you can't actually like.
I don't know.
You probably have to call to.
Wait, go back to
play.
that.
What?
What was it said something about a U.S. Open. Oh, was there last year?
It was here last.
I forgot
year.
about that. Yeah, because Bryson won there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's
Yeah.
another one
It
I'd like to
does
play
not-
eventually.
Does not give us any.
I'll figure it out.
Any pricing, but
All of the places on here on mine are
we'll
like
find out.
$350 to $400.
Well, I mean, as they should be. No offense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
My number 1 is the most expensive though.
I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of wondering what your number 1 is.
Mhm.
Well, my number 1 is St. Andrews.
Old course.
Old course,
Yeah.
obviously. For same reasons we said earlier. It's very historic, hard course, awesome course, no trees. Perfect for me.
The widest fairway.
Yeah, the widest fairway,
in
the
golf,
biggest
the
greens.
first. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be perfect for me.
Yeah.
Other than some old style houses and the hotel on the side of the fairway were solid.
Yeah. I feel like you might hit the hotel.
I would definitely hit the hotel.
So my number 1 at a whopping like $550 to play 18 holes, Pebble.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for again obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, Pebble Beach is
yeah.
classic U.S. course,
Yeah.
and there's a reason why it's $500.
Yeah, because I want to play there as well. I don't see myself being able to play there. Well, unfortunately, whenever I go on my tour around the United States. But, maybe. We'll see. I doubt it. But
I may play here this summer. In case you're wondering.
no. Yeah.
The classic at Madden's.
Well,
I might. I haven't really made my decision
whenever
yet.
you go play there, I'm going to go play at Paynes Valley then.
That's fine. Asshole. I mean, hey, you should just come up to Minnesota.
Just go to
that day.
Minnesota. I might have to.
No, it's probably be like on a probably Monday when I go play. If I play, I don't even know if I'm playing yet.
I'll just drive
But-
up to Minnesota that Sunday, take that Monday off, and
Yeah,
come
dude,
back.
I still cannot believe I forgot about Whistling Straits.
Whistling Straits.
And this is the reason why I can't believe, because literally any time that we played golf on like video games, we played TPC Sawgrass, Pebble Beach, Whistling Straits.
Yeah,
and-
it's
and
by
St. Andrews.
far like my favorite,
Like,
probably my favorite course
I don't
to
know-
play like on video games.
I don't know
other than St.
why.
Andrews.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how I forgot about Whistling Straits. Like, we literally played there probably 90% of the time, anytime we hopped on.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I forgot about that one. Probably because I was too busy thinking about Augusta, and St.
Probably.
Andrews,
But I mean, yeah,
Pebble Beach.
Whistling Straits.
But, well, guys, that was all we had today. Did you have anything else, Braden?
No, I'm
So
gonna
Nate-
just look to see how much money I'm gonna spend on my.
Oh, gosh. So make sure to stay engaged with us. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to move the thing right here. See? You hit it, and it rings the bell. So make sure you do that. Make sure you stay engaged. Like us on Facebook. How much is it?
Well, for two nights, it would be because you have to play a whatever. You have to like get a package deal to play there because you have to stay.
Uh-huh.
2 nights, 3 18-hole rounds. That's what it looks like. $830 per person.
That's not too bad. You know?
I mean, that does include a golf car and caddy fees and a 30-minute golf lesson, which I need. So
I mean, that's what I need. So I would pay $800 just to get a golf lesson, let alone play there.
I mean, and that was 3 18-hole rounds, or that was 3 18-hole rounds. So I mean, maybe worth it.
Honestly, $800 for 3 18-hole rounds at Whistling Straits, that's not bad.
I think so. I'll have to dive deeper into that.
I mean, let's be honest. My wife would definitely think that's a bad investment. But
I mean, true.
I mean, here's my 2 cents. You get to stay there.
Well, it'd be a lot more than 2 cents, but
Well, I understand. But you get to stay there. You get to have a golf lesson and play 3 rounds
yeah. I mean,
for a little over $800.
and they have because they have Whistling Straits and they have another. It's like the like the Well, you probably have to play the other course twice, and I'm sure you probably can play Whistling Straits once.
Well,
But-
you want to know what, Braden? I think they need to put that on their page that says you have to play the other course. And if they don't put that,
Yeah.
it's not in writing.
The Irish of Whistling Straits is the other one.
Yeah, you probably have to play that one because they're both called Whistling Straits. So you probably. I mean, I don't really care. The Irish is pretty cool looking too. So,
Whistling Straits.
but we're rambling on, so we
Yeah.
probably should end this. But like I said, subscribe, like us on Facebook, and we will see you guys next time with some NBA, NHL, the U.S. Open results, and probably NASCAR. Anything else we can think of. Who knows? Let us know what you guys want for a top 5, too, because we're running out of ideas. So, thanks, guys.
Have a good one. Thanks.